Hey everybody, we are live and welcome to episode 148. Man, we are closing in on 150 really quick. I know it's not actually going to be like 3 years, but it feels like it. Anyway, sorry. Quick tangent for everybody there. We're creeping up on...
will be 3 years.
Yeah, isn't it? That's crazy. I saw that the other day and just, we keep seeing the numbers go. I don't think about it. And then I was like, man, we're getting awful close to 150. Anyways, we're glad everybody's here. We got everybody here. We got Roman, got Marco, got Hernan, got Bradley, got Chris, and got myself. I've been in Colorado. That's why I'm sporting this brand new hat. And we're going to go through some quick announcements after we say hi to everybody. So I'm just going to go down as I see you guys on my screen. So Chris, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Can't complain. It's weather's cooled off. I'm no longer sweating every second of my day, so I'm kind of happy. But Hernan, how about you? How are you doing?
Hey guys, hey everyone. Good. I'm here in South Florida. Good timing, right, to be here in South Florida. But anyways, yeah, we're here. We're gonna hold off as much as possible, and yeah, I mean we're seeing how the things develop, but it's looking. I mean, it's whatever, right? You got to be prepared and whatnot. But yeah. I'm here.
That's good. Yeah, we're glad you came up to the U.S. and now you're in Florida. So if you don't get washed away, you can come to Portland and hopefully you don't get burnt in a forest fire. So, we're just showing you the best of everything.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't think about it. Yeah, I'll try to get a bucket of water or something to bring over there. But
yeah,
anyways, it's good to be here. I'm excited to get to hang out with you guys soon enough.
Good deal. Marco, speaking of weather, how's it going, man?
Big thunderstorm rolling in, man. Lots of lightning, lots of fireworks. If I cut out, you know why.
I was about to say, yeah, Marco suddenly disappears. Everybody knows what happened.
Yeah, it's the Google gods pissed off.
It's not the Google police. It's nature.
Good deal. Roman, how you doing, man?
Oh, not too bad, man.
Good deal. Oh, thought you were going to say something. All right, last but not least, Bradley, how are you?
I'm peachy. Happy to be here.
All right. With that, we'll hop into it. We're going to run through the announcements, everybody, and then we'll get into the questions. I know we had several in the last couple hours there, so we want to get to those pretty quick. Unless you've been under a rock, you probably know that the RYS Reloaded launch is over. I should have a sad horn sound queued up. But we heard from a few people that missed the launch or missed kind of the very end. They were on the fence. They weren't sure whether they're going to join or not. So the bad news is you can't get it for the launch special. We had people emailing us. It's just, sorry, that's not fair and it's not going to happen. But we did have enough people. We had people contacting us. So we've got a coupon. You can save a few $100 if you were on the fence and you were thinking, hey, now's a good time to jump in. Please do it. You got 5 hours. So if you're watching the replay, it might be too late, but you've got until 9 p.m. on the 6th of September, which is today. So I'll post that up in there here in a second. And if you want to do that, I highly suggest you take advantage of that. And then, Marco, how are things going with the RYS group? I've been in there a little bit. I've seen Rob is going nuts with some stuff in there, and you guys are getting ready to do your first webinar in September, right?
Monday.
Shoot. Okay.
Monday will be the first one. We're going to add power to what I call the loop. It's already a power loop because once you close it, happy things start happening to the money site. Of course, I can only talk in general here because I'm not going to share things that people paid for in a free forum, right? It wouldn't be fair. But if anyone is in the RYS Facebook group, please let people know what's going on in there. I don't know, some smart ass if Wayne is on it. No, nothing happening in there. Don't come in. Because they want to keep people out, of course. It's that good. They're using it to rank in anything they want, and they're asking just awesome questions. They get answered. I try to answer them within 24 hours. I just want to give them as much support as possible. Rob is in there also providing support, and just a word about Rob. Rob is a super. He goes above and beyond spamming, right? It's like above and beyond the Call of Duty. There's spammers, and then there's Rob, who figures out all kinds of ways to just mess with Google. And it's just his mathematical nature, his researcher research nature of the numbers games that he has to play every day in his day job, because he has a day job, and this he does for fun, right? So it's incredible, the stuff that we're sharing, and what I'm going to share on Monday, right, on how to power up Google My Business, not only for local, but nationwide, and we're going to try to go continental and global on Monday. So, I mean, that's going to be fun. So that's what we're up to, man. So if you want to join us, fine. If they don't, no, I'm just saying, if people want to join us, fine. And if they don't, the nearly 150 members that we already have will be very happy that you didn't join.
Yeah, and Rob's got some good stuff coming too. I mean, in addition to everything else that you've got planned, Marco, I had a quick phone call with him today, and so we were doing some discussions about some landing page stuff. So I'm excited. I'm gonna be trying to help him out with some of that stuff he's testing. So that's it for now. Let's see. Hopefully everyone here saw this, but if you're within driving distance of Portland, let us know. We're gonna be there on September. Yep, there went Marco.
That's what he gets for talking about all that spam.
Yeah. If you're going to be around Portland, please let us know. Hop in, and I'm going to put the link on the page. Come join us. We're going to do a live Hump Day Hangout. We're starting to scout locations. It's going to be somewhere inside of Portland, all right? So we're going to have some sort of a venue set up, and we are going to get you more information. We're asking for a $5 basically deposit because we only want people who are serious. We don't want 150 people, signing up and saying, sure, I'll be there. We want people who are serious, and, we'll go from there. So I think it'd be awesome. I want to have a few people show up, do the live Hump Day Hangout, and then obviously talk shop, talk SEO, marketing, and probably beer. So
I was going to say, don't forget the beer. I would have put that at the first line item.
Yeah, I think that's a great opportunity since we most of the team is gonna be there. I think it's gonna be a great opportunity for to put faces on the names and then to get to network with each other, because I think that networking has a lot of power, and I know that ourselves, every time we meet, we get a lot of stuff done for the next 12 months or 6 months. So if you guys get to come, it's gonna be a lot of fun, but we're also gonna get a lot of stuff done too. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, anybody that signed up, sorry, Adam, but if anybody signed up already, I hope you read the fine print. It requires you to buy me a beer if you show up. So,
yep.
Bradley's going to be face down. So I did forget something, and I apologize for this. So with RYS Reloaded, I don't know how best to describe this, but Marco, do you want to tell people basically what's happened with the Done For You services?
Well, for some reason, and I can't understand why, because I'm always pushing, Chris P and I are always pushing to raise the price as much as possible. And I'm even trying to raise the price of RYS Reloaded, since we will be adding content. And it's ongoing in nature, because I'm supporting the group, Rob is supporting the group. And so I'm thinking the price is too low, even where it's going to be eventually at 3K. It's way low. So I'm pushing to get that increase. Somehow, in pushing for all of these increases, I forgot to ask for an increase for Done For You services. So right now, Done For You services are still the old price, even though we've instituted the new training.
Into the stack builds, you mean?
Yeah. The new training is being integrated, or has been. That's how they're being done. Anything that was offered from launch day onward has been done according to the new standards. But we're charging the same friggin' price. And I can't believe that slip. And so we talked about it the other day. I asked for a raise, and I got, what did we agree on, $50?
Yeah, across the board, it's going to be $50, and that's going to be taking place early next week.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
I would have liked 100, but I didn't get my way. So it's going to 50, but you can get them right now for the price where they are, and according to the new specs.
Gotcha.
So, there you go.
Yeah, so we'll put out a formal reminder. Instead of we obviously, like Marco said, we actually needed to do that, but we realized, we're not going to just do it and not say anything. We'll send out a reminder, but it is going to happen quickly. So if you got some stacks or you're doing some projects, now would be a great time to head over to SerpSpace.com and get it ordered. And if you're joining us for the first time and you've never been to SerpSpace, please head over there, grab your free account. We've got the free tools over there. If you're listening and you're not sure what SerpSpace is and you have any questions, today's a great time to ask. Roman is here. Roman can answer all of your SerpSpace questions as well as a ton of other awesome stuff. And also, if you're just joining us for the first time, check out support.semanticmastery.com if you ever have any questions. We put up some of the recurring questions or things we see a lot that are really helpful. And there's diagrams and short video clips over there for some of these questions that can really help you out. And with that, I think we are through the announcements. Do you guys have anything else?
I got one or two, actually. Well, it's about the mastermind. So anybody else before I jump on it? Okay.
Good.
Okay, so just a quick update on mastermind stuff, because we got a lot of stuff coming up for the mastermind guys. Our primary focus going forward from this point on, besides continuing the education in RYS, which is part of that program, is we're going to be developing out the mastermind more and providing a lot more value and just improving it in multiple ways. So that's something that we're really going to be focusing on over the next several months. And one of the things that we're doing, well, first of all, tomorrow we have a mastermind webinar, and I'm going to be breaking down my prospecting funnel that I've been working on for about 6 weeks now. And it is absolutely crushing it. I'm generating a shit ton of inbound leads from, from this prospecting funnel that I've got set up for, agency services. So SEO, video marketing, video SEO, press release or PR marketing services, that kind of stuff. And it's working really well. Now, my sales process can use some work. That's my next phase, because I've got the leads coming in now. And anyways, I got the leads coming in now, and it's working really, really well. So anybody that is in the mastermind, be on the lookout for that tomorrow, because I'm going to break it down. We're going to go through that extensively tomorrow so that you guys can duplicate that same process if you'd like. It is just absolutely crushing it. I've never had such good results with cold prospecting as I have with this new funnel that I built. So I'm going to be breaking that down. That's number one. Number two is starting on Monday, September 11th, we're starting the Mindset Monday series. That's something that is going to be ongoing. I don't see an end in sight for that. I've got at least 12 weeks scheduled of every single week. I'm going to be providing another mindset video, or I'm not sure what format I'm going to do, whether it's going to be like a webinar or just a recorded video. It's likely just going to be a recorded video where I share some stuff from my study of, mindset and success principles and habit forming and all that kind of stuff. And we've got a lot of really good feedback from when I announced this on the last mastermind webinar. Many of our mastermind members have said that that's something they're really looking forward to. So that's going to be in the mastermind. RYS Academy members, the RYS Reloaded members, will get to see some of it. But in order to see the entire series, you have to be a mastermind member. And then I know Hernan is going to take the torch, or at least contribute to that series at the end of what I have planned so far. But again, that's going to be an ongoing thing. I think it's going to be value added. I think that's one of the things missing in a lot of like communities and online programs that have to deal with marketing, is the mindset part of stuff. And because of the feedback we got from 2 weeks ago when we did the mastermind, and I was kind of introducing or announcing this, I see that it's going to be a winner. So anyways, if you guys are interested, mastermind would be a great time to join now. Because once we really start developing out the mastermind more, we're going to be switching platforms and getting it out of Google+. We're still trying to decide on the venue for that right now. But as we continue to improve it, and there's a good chance that it's going to go up. So we haven't even discussed that at the moment. I'm just letting you know, if you're interested in joining, now would be a really good time, because we got a lot of new stuff coming up in the next several weeks, as well as just improving it all together. So, okay. All right, anybody want to add to that?
I think we're good.
No? Okay. All right, so let me get into questions. We got quite a few already. So Angelina, excuse me, she says, do you have info that will show me how to rank on first page of Google with my website? Well, we have lots of info. It's a very broad question. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So we do have lots of training for it. RYS Reloaded would be probably the fastest way right now. There's also, many other ways that we can do it. So I'm going to continue with the question, because that's a very, very broad question. I see lots of ranking to show a thumbnail, and when you click it, it will be taken to your website where you have a video embedded. Is there a plugin or course that I can use to accomplish this? Yeah, actually, it's really funny that you asked this, Angelina, because we just covered this, I think, last week. If it wasn't last week, it was 2 weeks ago on Hump Day Hangout. But right now, the best way that I know of is to use if you're using WordPress site, WordPress as your site, platform, then Yoast, the WordPress SEO plugin for Yoast or by Yoast, has an add-on or a plugin extension, I guess they call it, or I don't know if it's an add-on or extension or whatever, but it's called the Video SEO add-on, and it's not too bad if you're just doing it for like one site or something like that. But if you need to put it on multiple sites, it can get expensive because they require you to purchase a license for every site. But and they have deals on like 10 packs and stuff. But if you go and we'll just do a search real quick, I'll demonstrate it. But it's the Video SEO plugin. I'm just going to say Yoast. Oh, let's do that one. And this is it here. And it's a great plugin. If you're using the WordPress SEO plugin, it's $89 for a single site license. They also have like package deals if you want to buy, if you're doing it for multiple sites. But that's exactly what you see here. It'll show the video thumbnail, and when you click the video thumbnail, it will actually take you to the web page or the post that the video is embedded on. Okay. If you do proper object markup, video object markup with schema or structured data, then it's supposed to show as well. But I haven't tested that in quite some time because whenever I'm attempting to do that, or whenever I want to do that, I have the Yoast Video SEO plugin, so I'm able to use it on whatever site I want. So I haven't done it with just the video object markup to see. Does anybody know if that's still valid? Okay, apparently not. So, all right. I'm also looking for what's the other one, guys? Systrix. You guys remember that? Let's see if I can find that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Here we go. This one. This is another one. You'd have to test this, but this is the video rich snippet generator for schema.org markup. It's very simple. You put the YouTube URL in here. Guys, I'll post this on the event page, or it's systrix.com/video-SEO. But you can paste a video URL in here, YouTube URL, hit generate code. It will spit out the structured data code that you can insert, and it's supposed to show up like this as well. Again, I have not tested this in quite some time because I always use the Yoast plugin, but it's supposed to do that as well. The only thing that I don't like about this is the structured data, that it's basically like microdata. And so what happens is when you embed it into the post or the page, then it comes out formatted weird because it puts like an H2, and like the CSS is always very strange, and it like puts this great big space between the H2, which is it marks up the video title as an H2 tag, but then there's this great big space, and it depends, I guess, on what it will conflict with some WordPress themes because of the CSS, and it's difficult to modify that. So that's part of the reason why I just started using the Yoast Video SEO plugin instead of this, and I've been using that for the last couple of years, is because this will kind of screw up the formatting of a page or a post a bit, but it should work. Okay, so this is a free way to do it, but you're going to have you're likely going to have some formatting issues with the page of the post that you'll have to adjust or overcome or just live with. But then, like I said, the Video SEO plugin or add-on is also a good resource for that. Okay. It's a good question, though. We had that question just a week or two ago. Okay. Yep. Okay. So that was it. Kyle is up. He says, I have a few local clients, personal injury, HVAC, chiropractic, that have multiple physical locations and serve many more cities throughout the area. Would you recommend creating a unique Google stack for each location and then another one for all of the other cities? Would appreciate your thoughts. Thanks for all you guys do. Marco, I'm going to let you handle that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer it here because we're working on that in the group, and it wouldn't be fair to the group.
Okay. There you go. Sorry about that, Kyle. That's a very specific question. So if you're in the RYS Academy, that would be a great place to ask it. And there is a webinar on Monday, which, by the way, I didn't even know we had a webinar on Monday. I'm not sure if I can make it, guys. I didn't have it on my calendar. So just so you know. Jeff is up. He says, just checking to see if you guys have been using Peter Drew's Google Site Builder, and if so, what results have you been getting? Marco's been using that a lot. You want to talk about it?
We've been testing it, but mainly as a public link network, rather than to power up the main RYS drive stack, so to speak, since it's all iframes anyway that we work with. And then link building on the, well, we'll call them again, PLNs, public link networks, because we're not hiding them. We're leaving them out in the open. We will link build to those, and since they connect to the main G site, they will power up the drive, everything that's in Drive, and everything that's connected to Drive, and happy things are going on. That's going to be covered in one of the upcoming webinars. We have 12 planned. Link building will be covered, and how to use G sites. Not particularly Peter Drew's Google Site Builder. That just makes testing quicker. I want a G site with a full drive stack, even if it's just for a public link network.
Yeah, I've been using it more for link building than anything, is to create, because like one of the things I've been doing with it is you can create a site with, I think, up to 8 pages, or you can create multiple sites, right? You can go either way. And I've been testing it and using it more for link building. So either for link building to direct to a money site, or to a Google Maps listing, or to a Google site that's part of a drive stack. So whenever I need a stack, I order it from ServSpace, and our guys build it. And then when I get that back, the Google site that comes built with the stack, then I will build links to that using the Peter Drew's Google Site Builder, and then basically spam the hell out of the Google sites, the Google sites that were built as a private, a public link network, a PLN, like what Marco just said. And it's been working well for that. And what's crazy is, because they're Google sites, if you spam the hell out of them, right? So you build a crap ton of links to those Google sites. A lot of the times those Google sites end up ranking. So, and that's what's good about it, guys. That's why it's powerful as a private link network, a public link network type of builder, because you can spam the Google sites. The Google sites end up ranking, and a ranking site that that is linking to your target URL is a good signal. So, because it's a Google property, you can spam it, and it will oftentimes rank for longer tail keywords. And now, because it's ranked on page 1, the relevancy passes through to your target URL, which can be, like I said, it can be a money site, it could be a Google Maps URL, it could be the Google site from a drive stack, it could be whatever you want it to be. Okay, those are typically my 3 target URLs. All right, so it's really strong. It's a great way to add, to build buffer sites quickly that you can then spam.
So maybe we should call them public ranking networks.
Yeah,
since they themselves will rank. And actually, what you're creating and what I'm doing also, which is basically the same thing, it's dealing with the distance graph algorithm that I talked about coming. It's coming on 2 years, when I talked about what was going to happen with PBNs and how you had to change it up. And so that's exactly what we've been doing. We just as soon as we hear about it, we just move on, start implementing things that will be ready for when Google decides, okay, we're going to kill that. This is how we're going to kill it, and we're moving on, and this is how we're going to look at links now, right? We talked about this for quite a long time, how Google is reading hops in between links, how far they're going, and that all has to do with the distance graph algorithm.
Yep. All right, next part of that is, now that RYS Reloaded has come out, when we purchase from ServSpace, are all the new features included in the purchase? You mean the done-for-you drive stacks? Yes, Jeff. Those are all implemented as of launch day. So drive stacks that are ordered now all have the new methods incorporated in them. Guys, don't think that if you order drive stacks prior to RYS Reloaded that they're no longer any good. They're still very effective. They're still working. So you don't need to go update those. It's not necessary. It's just anything that you order from this point forward, or as of launch day forward, that will be built under the new specifications. Okay. All right, Mohammed's up. He says, hey guys, how important are hyperlocal citations? I mean, the ones where there's a bit of effort to go through to get them, like calling the company, getting papers ready waiting while and all that. These are mostly newspaper and tourist directories, so they have no online registration. Is the result worth the effort, or should I be satisfied with regular, quicker citations that I get from Bright Local? Mohammed, those are absolutely super powerful. Those hyperlocal citations are more powerful than anything you can get online through services. And the reason why is oftentimes the more difficult it is to get listed, the more valuable it is, right? And that's because it's more difficult. You got to jump through hoops. So if you're willing to jump through the hoops, those hyperlocal citations can be some of the most effective, because a lot of the times your competitors won't be doing it either because their SEO guy is lazy or just doesn't know about it. And so if you're willing to do that, I can tell you hyperlocal citations are often all that is needed to push you over the edge, or in other words, to outrank competitors and to give you that edge is hyperlocal citations. That, and also very like industry specific citations, right? So what's nice about hyperlocal citations is it doesn't have, it's more about a very, very focused local geographic directory. So like a chamber of commerce for the local city, right? That's a good one. Local blogs, those are also great. The local newspapers, you know, anything like that. A lot of even like the little local penny saver type magazines and things like that oftentimes will have a small fee to get listed in them, like, you know, $25 per year or something like that. It's totally worth it because, again, that's most other SEO companies and marketing companies aren't going to go through that trouble to get their clients listed, because they're going to go the easy route and go to Bright Local or SERPspace or Loganix or Marketer Center or whatever, and they're going to go order citations from there, and those are very much automated in many instances anyways. Okay, so if you can go through, if you jump through those extra hoops to get listed in those, or pay the fees or whatever, it will you should see a significant increase in ranking position. That's been my experience anyway. Something that you should also, you know, if it's going to be a service that you're going to be providing because it works well, then I would train a VA to do that, because it is a very manual process. So I would train a VA to do that kind of stuff. And then, you know, that could be like their full-time gig, is just to create citations. Like, first of all, locate, you know, hunt down hyperlocal citations, and then to figure out what the process is to get listed, and then actually, you know, do the process, complete the process to get listed. All right. Number 2, he says, a few weeks ago, you guys advised to include some variation in simple silos and link to other articles in the category rather than the top page all the time. My question is, can I link to both a related article and the top page in a post, or should I stick to one link? No, absolutely, Mohammed. You can link to as many other articles within the same silo as you want. What I recommend is don't force additional links into the post. It's really unnecessary. If it naturally occurs, like a good instance, if there's a natural occurrence of a time that would make sense to link to another article or page, so either, you know, another post or another page within the silo, within the same silo, then it makes sense to do so. There's no reason, first of all, to just put one link in every post. You can link to as many other posts that are relevant to that one. And if it's in the same silo, it's likely that a lot of the other supporting posts are also relevant. Now, like I mentioned, you don't have to force it in, but if you have a keyword or whatever that occurs in a post that you could use as a natural link point to another supporting article within the same silo, absolutely do it, because that kind of mimics what we talk about with spider silos, like what we do with the DriveStack stuff that you can get when you order Done For You DriveStacks, right? It's just interlinking all within the same silo, and it's very, very powerful. Okay. So don't force it, but you know, you can, if it occurs naturally, it's a great opportunity to kind of just spread the love around within the silo.
Yeah, I find a lot that people are really conservative with links, and they don't necessarily need to be as much as they are.
With on-page, you know, internal links, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. With on-page internal links, you know, it's why limit, right? You know, I think it's better to take that approach from that perspective than start really scared and worried that, you know, well, maybe I should have, you know, I can't have more than 5 links, or I can't have more than this.
Right.
And I think part of that stems from a misconception of, you know, of link juice way back when everybody thinks that it gets way in. It's not true. It's, you know, if you set up a page on your website, that's a linking opportunity for other pages on your website.
Yeah.
And that's how it needs to be viewed.
I totally agree. I think a good internal linking structure is one of the most underutilized aspects of SEO. I see that mistake a lot, is that people aren't linking enough internally, as kind of like what Roman was just saying, because again, it's probably just traditional, you know, what do they call it? Conventional wisdom, which is oftentimes wrong, especially in the SEO industry. That, you know, I don't want to bleed the, you know, the juice, the link equity that's coming into this post too much. Well, if it's all within the same silo, it's okay, guys. I mean, and look, it's okay to link outside of the silo. I prefer to do that with a no follow link, but it's perfectly okay to do that. And just the same as like outbound links from posts, guys, it makes sense to link to multiple sources that can reinforce the theme of a post or a page, right? You know, it's up to you whether you want to do no follow or follow. I personally no follow them. I know Hernan, he has a difference in opinion, but I personally no follow outbound links, but I like to link to lots of, you know, sources that can kind of, you know, confirm or validate the content, because Google will crawl those links and they'll go see, okay, well, this content that he's linking to is also relevant. It reinforces or supports the theme of the post, right? Or the page. And so it just makes sense to do so, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, if your main goal is, a lot of times people's goals are to get links from authority sites, right? Mm-hmm. So it makes sense that you should also be linking out to authority sites. Yep. That's another signal, right?
Absolutely. Okay, Lori's up. Hey, Lori, haven't seen you in a while. She says, hey, everyone, I asked this in the Facebook group, but didn't get an answer, so I thought I'd try again. We have a potential client asking what the stats are for people that click on the video tab in search. Their comment was, I don't know anyone who searches the video tab for anything other than how to do something. They are only worried about organic rankings, which eventually can happen with a video, but not always that quickly. We've tried to find info on stats for this video tab, but nothing really comes up. Does anyone have any insight on this? Maybe a good way to answer this question? No, I don't have anything for that, because, like, I mean, I search the video tab sometimes to see if I don't see my video, like if I do a video SEO campaign and I don't see the video on the first, you know, 2 or 3 pages from universal search, then I will check the video tab to see where it falls within the video tab. With the video, that, you know, that's called a vertical search, right? The video vertical search. And I'll go look at that to see where it lands in there. And it's interesting because sometimes you'll see a video that's like a #1 in video search, but you don't find it at all in the top 10 pages, the first 10 pages of universal search. And what's interesting is you'll see like the video #2 in the video search, right, will actually be ranked in the first couple of pages, but yours is actually above them in video search, but then it's not showing up. I just was looking at one this morning that was just, it is experiencing that exact, that specific phenomena right now. And it's interesting that that happens, and it's just because they are 2 different searches though. So the video search, it may be outranking all the others, but then not showing in universal, which typically means just give it time and it will end up showing up in universal search ahead or above of the you know, the other videos that are listed underneath of you in the video search, if that makes sense. I know it's probably sounded a little bit confusing, but as far as like if a client was to ask, like I just never show them anything about the video tab. If I have an inquisitive client that looks on that kind of stuff and then asks about it, then I'll just explain to them similarly to what I just did just now, which is, you know, it's called a vertical search. You're right. It's not typically something that people will click to. We do as SEOs. We look through to it as kind of an indication as to how well our video is optimized. But really, if it's not showing in universal search, in my opinion, it's, you know, there's traffic in YouTube. So I do oftentimes talk, you know, to clients and say, listen, you're not ranked in universal search on page 1 yet. However, you are ranked in, and if you've done video SEO, if you've optimized the video properly, you're likely going to be ranked #1 in YouTube, right? Especially for like local stuff. For the specific keyword. And so I do point to YouTube though. I don't point to video search, the vertical search from Google. I do point to YouTube though and say, look, while I'm still working on getting it ranked in Google search, then you know, it's showing in YouTube, and YouTube can produce some traffic. So I just try to avoid discussing the video tab at all unless they particularly bring it up. I don't draw their attention to it, if in other words. Anybody else?
I agree with you, Bradley.
Okay. Scott says, what is an effective process to send out proposals without having to chase them or be used by the prospect to shop around other proposals? I feel like I'm in a weak position once I release a proposal. Put a deadline on it, Scott. Put a deadline on it. Seriously. That's, I mean, that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Say, look, this is proprietary proposal. You got 24 hours to make a decision, whatever, to sign the proposal, or else this becomes null and void. And you can put that right in the proposal, that language right in the proposal. That's how I've always done it. You know, sometimes people are going to go shop around anyways, but you have to stay strong on your position, though. Just like, you know, you have to. If you're going to do that, you have to stay strong. You have to say, look, this proposal at this price expires in 24 hours. That means if they're going to go shop around, they better do it real fast, because otherwise the price goes up. I'm not saying that you won't take them on as a client, but I always put like if you sign today, then it'll be this price. If you wait until tomorrow, it's going to be this price type of thing. That's what I've done. Yeah, but what are you going to say, Roman? I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, it's so I love the idea of urgency with that. That makes a lot of sense. One of the other things that picking up on here is, you know, he's saying that he's got a weak position once he releases the proposal, and I'm wondering if he has a conversation with the client and then just sends them a proposal rather than walk them through the proposal.
Yeah.
If you spend the time to walk a client through the proposal, a lot of times you can close them right there on the spot.
Yeah.
If you have sales abilities. If not, then it's going to be some period of time afterwards. But you really need to walk them through the proposal. That needs to I feel personally that is a very important part of the process, unless they're completely sold beforehand. If you know that they're already sold and done, you can still walk them through the proposal, because I think that's a trust building exercise. You know, if somebody hands you a 10-page document and, you know, saying that they're going to do all of this stuff and yada, 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 whatever it is that the proposal that you're sending them, it makes sense that you should walk them through it, especially if your prices is, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, I just wanted to say too that Wayne put something up there on the page, which is good too. He's just basically saying he quit sending out proposals without going through it online or in person. And if client balks at that, just tell them that's how we do business. So,
yep,
basically the same.
Well, I mean, you can frame it as, I'm protecting my proprietary methods and processes. And so if you're, you know, I'm happy to jump on a join.me present, you know, a session, or, you know, whatever. Join.me is what I use, and just get on a session with them so they can see my screen and I can just walk them through the proposal. Sometimes if I have a good rapport with the prospect, like if it's a referral client, which is typically how most of my proposals are generated, because they were clients that were referred to me from existing clients. And so I don't really have to worry about that so much. And so oftentimes what I'll do is draft a proposal, and then I'll record just a screencast video where I walk through the proposal and send it to them. But if I think that they're shopping around, then I will do it on a live, like join.me type presentation, so that they don't actually have a physical copy of it. I do, until they decide whether if they agree to sign it, then I'll send it to them. If not, then I say, well, then, you know, shop around, do whatever you're going to do, and get back to me when you've made a decision. If you sign today, it's going to be this price. If you sign tomorrow, it'll be this price, kind of thing.
Yep. And that's really interesting too about the clients shopping around, because if a client's shopping around, then you need to be paying close attention to your positioning of what you're selling. Are you selling yourself as a consultant, as a trusted advisor to that person? Or are you selling yourself as an SEO service,
a commodity?
If you're positioning yourself as a commodity, exactly, then you're going to be compared to everyone else. People are going to shop around, and of course, what do you think it's going to be? It's going to be the lowest price, right? And we all know that's not how this works, but they don't.
One of the things I found to overcome that is when doing a proposal, I like to wow the client with how much like reporting I can show them, as far as like where they currently stand and the opportunities that I see that can be improved upon for quick wins as well as long-term gains, that kind of stuff. So, and that's oftentimes how I'll win a proposal or a client, because I'll send them information. Like, for example, I did have a referral client for a preschool I've never done any preschool work, like, you know, marketing for preschools before. But one of my oldest clients has given me or referred them to me. So I sent him a bunch of reports. He has 2 different locations. So he had 2 websites, and I basically went through and analyzed everything, fine-tooth comb. I did a really nice reporting, and then I did a bullet point on a Google Doc as well as a screencast video explaining everything. The video ended up being like, I don't know, 27 minutes long. It was crazy. It was way longer than I wanted it to be. But I sent it to him with all the reports plus the proposal or the doc with the line-by-line items and all that stuff. And he replied back and said, wow, he goes, I've talked to 4 other marketing companies and I've never had anybody go through as much detail. And he was sold right then and there. And that was before I even pitched him on the proposal. That was just on the, hey, this is what I see type of thing. And that really, really works well. If you can, because you can create that kind of trusted advisor status that Roman was just mentioning.
Yeah, it's providing them insight into their own business, right? At the end of the day, you're showing them their own information and helping them understand it and what they're seeing. You're providing insight into their business. That you can't stand from a stronger position than that. Yep.
Yeah, if I can add, because I think that this is a great conversation to have. I think that the walking through the proposal is key. And I really agree that you either jump on the phone with them and tell them right there and then. Like, I usually, like, what I like doing is to pre-screen as much as possible, meaning I don't talk to people unless they are 100% sure that I'm going to charge them X amount of money and that they need to be invested on their money. I'm that disqualifying when it comes to talking to people, right? Even if it is like on a consulting funnel, if they need to come up with a form, if they need to, like, I usually don't talk to people, or I try not to talk to people that they're just hunting for prices or they're just shopping around, right? So that's number one. So I think that the going through the proposal and adding as much value as possible on the proposal itself plays a big role, number one. And number two, I think, Scott, that if you're, as Roman was correctly saying, if you're positioning yourself the right way, you shouldn't be worrying on being strong, because you're pretty much the next logical or the only logical solution that understands their business and that they can make them grow. So I would combine those two. And also, if you are worrying about how strong your position is after you send the proposal, I think, and this is my opinion, that your pipeline is not full enough, that you're not getting as many calls as you could get, or you're not getting as many leads, quote unquote, for you to talk as you could possibly get. Because that way, you don't care about that proposal that much, right? If you're sending like one proposal, or if you're having like one conversation a week, that proposal could be a deal breaker, right? So you put a lot of stress on it. But if you're having conversations with clients that could potentially help them out, and you're out there enough so that you get enough exposure, I would say, for your market, then you will never have the problem of people shopping around, because you become the only logical solution. And that's the way you need to position yourself, and that's how you can charge a premium. Because if you go for the price tag, there's no way you can compete with people in Philippines. There's no way you can compete with people in India. There's no way you can do that, right? So I think that it has to do with how you position yourself, and yeah, walking them through the proposal and, you know, disqualifying them before getting to talk to you or even send them the proposal. I think that's you're gonna talk to less people, but those people are gonna be like way more qualified to talk to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and the last part of that, I want to add just that really quickly is to just agree with Hernan and say that, you know, once you get enough leads that you're talking with, then no single lead is going to make or break your business, and that your the way that you portray yourself, the vibe that you put out, in the tone of your voice, the way that you speak, the confidence will show through when you know that you've got, you know, 8 other prospects that you're talking to or going to be sending proposals out this week. Then that one proposal isn't such a big deal whether you win or lose it, and you can be more confident in your pitch or in your proposal and saying, this is it, take it or leave it. I mean, you don't have to be rude. I'm just saying, in your own attitude and the way you approach it will be at a you'll be in a much higher position of strength, because you're not relying on that one proposal being accepted to make or break your business, if that makes sense. So, all right,
Yeah,
looks
absolutely.
like we got to
Confidence is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Confidence is and that comes with experience as well as filling your pipeline with enough leads. And that's something that I'm working on for, like I said, we're going to be breaking down a prospecting funnel tomorrow in the mastermind that is just freaking crushing it. So my sales process still really sucks right now. I'm not going to lie, but the prospecting side of it's really starting to pan out. So our bacon's up. We got to roll through a couple of these. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Before you go on, let's put it out there. You are making sales. Not as many as you'd like to, but you're still closing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're burning through a lot of these leads rather quickly because we're still, fine tuning the sales process. But yeah, I mean, I closed a big contractor on Friday last week, a big one. So that's really good. So our Bacon says, you mentioned using separate subdomains for each rank and rent site to protect them. Do you recommend using separate tier 1 rings for each subdomain, or can you create a branded ring to be used for multiple sites? Our Bacon, I always like to do one branded ring for multiple sites. And then I try to accomplish my ranking goals with that one branded ring because, first of all, it's less expensive, it's less work, it's less maintenance. I always try to achieve results with the least amount of effort, right? But what happens is if any one of the particular subdomain sites or locations, right, that are going to be on subdomains aren't responding all that well to your content marketing, syndication, that kind of stuff, then you can always build a location-specific ring or syndication network for that particular subdomain. So that is my standard operating procedure. If I'm going to build let's say a 4-location set of sites, then I'm going to do each one on a subdomain, and then I'm going to build the branded tier 1 ring, and that's it. And I'm going to start content marketing from the root domain blog, typically, so that, instead of content marketing from each subdomain, I do it from the root domain, from the blog that's actually hosted on the root domain. And then from there, I'll just have categories that match up with each one of the subdomains, and I'll start posting content via those categories that will be, specifically pushing links to the subdomain sites. If something happens where one of those sites or two of those sites or whatever aren't responding all that well, they're not moving as quickly as I would like, then I'll go have a location specific network, tier 1 branded network. And so it'll just be like, if it's Joe's Plumbing and you've got, 4 locations and one of them is Fairfax, Virginia, and that one's not really ranking all that well, then I'll do Joe's Plumbing Fairfax, right? It'll be you just add the location modifier to the brand, and that's what distinguishes it apart from, it still makes that connection with the brand, but it adds that location specificity to it, which will help to give it an additional push, if that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. He says also, what identity you use for setting up terms of service page, or do you use one on a rank and rent site? Terms of service page. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much standard. You need to have that. Terms of service, privacy policy. DMCA is also another good thing to have. I put it on the root domain, and then I just link from each one of the subdomains to the root domain page because it's all the same brand. It's not necessary to have a terms of service page on every subdomain. It doesn't need to be. You can just put those on the root domain and link to those in the footer from all of the subdomain sites. Okay, and no follow those links, by the way. You don't need to push juice to those. All right, Robert's up. Shit. Adam said there was a question about SERP space that needed answered.
Maybe if we want to spend some time on Robert's question, we could get to that in the mastermind webinar tomorrow.
Which one's Robert? Oh, Robert's in the mastermind?
Yeah, but I believe he just joined recently, I thought. But
Yeah,
we could copy that over and go into depth on that tomorrow. I think would be a good one.
Well, he just joined today, I think.
Okay. Well, if Robert joined, that's awesome. Welcome, Robert. Yeah, I'd love to cover your. Just know that tomorrow I've got a full entire 2-hour webinar already planned. It's going to be difficult to get to many questions tomorrow. Of course, we're going to leave some time for some questions, guys. But I'm going to be breaking down the prospecting funnel tomorrow, as well as walking through the best practices for setting up a new Google My Business listing, as per the request of Damon Green, one of our mastermind members. And I promised him yesterday that I would do that on the mastermind tomorrow. So, Robert, if nothing else, you can repost this question as just a thread in the mastermind community, and we can start chiming in there. Okay. And we, if we have time tomorrow during the webinar, we will as well. Okay, Siegfried says, I watched the RYS Authority Sniper webinar with Lisa Allen that you folks put on. What is the best way to use this with RYS? Probably a good question for Marco.
We've never had the need to pull authority from anybody except Google into RYS. I mean, that's the whole point of RYS, is just living in the belly of the beast and drawing from that power. But I'm sure, you know, since we have a way to produce a feed burner feed, and you mix those with the authority sniper feeds, they would feed off each other. So I'm sure you could work that in, but we generally don't need to go that far to rank for most of the stuff that we're targeting.
Yeah. That rank feeder creates co-citation, which is a way to inject authority or pass authority back to your target URLs without there actually being a hyperlink from the authority properties. It's kind of like guilty by association, right? You associate your link among others that are relevant and authority or popular content, that type of stuff. And so that creates co-citation and passes some of the relevancy over to your target URL, even without there being a physical or a hyperlink between those sources. So I can see one thing that you could probably do, though, is using the rank feeder is you could take some of your drive stack file URLs and add them as sticky items inside the feeds along with, as sticky items in the feed along with relevant content sources, the feeds from relevant content sources, because those will update, but your sticky items remain static. And so because it's a Google property, you can actually siphon some of the authority from those Google properties, even if it's just drive files. I would stick with the higher quality drive files that can actually convert, like slides or drawings if they're done well, or maps, even things like that. Those would be good sticky items to add into that rank feeder feed, if that makes sense. Okay. By the way, guys, you can put Google Maps URLs in as sticky items, right? You can put Maps URLs in there, Google Sites. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do there with the rank feeder. It's a very powerful tool, rank feeder is. I don't use the RSS Authority Sniper. I do all my RSS locating manually. I get better results, but the rank feeder, which is the monthly service, that's super powerful. All right. We've only got about 5 minutes, guys. I want to answer this question because he asked, so I'm really sorry, Ryan. We're going to skip over yours and a few of you guys. I apologize for that, but Adam said this.
Yeah, real quick, you guys, if you're listening still, or the recording, Ryan, if you guys don't get your questions answered, it's first come, first serve. But also, I'll post the link. Go join the Facebook group if you haven't. We've got a free Facebook group. Hop in there and ask your questions. People will help you out if they have got answers for you, for giving you a best blog fundamentals or getting you started. People can definitely point you in the right direction. So I'll post that Facebook link right now.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. By the way, Quit This House says, where would be the best place to go for a 3,000 word article that is high quality? Look, I just posted this in our mastermind. One of our newer members asked a question similar to that. And I have a writer that I go for authority content, but she's really busy right now. So she's been kind of tough recently to get me articles in a timely fashion. So this is let's see, excuse me, let me try this real quick. And then I'm going to jump on that other question, Adam. Sorry. NatashaNixon.com. This is not an affiliate or anything, guys. I'm just telling you that I use the authority content service. So if you go to the services, you'll see authority content. And I use this service when I need something done quickly and my writer's too backed up to get it to me. I use Natasha Nixon's authority content service, and you can go up to a 2,000 word article. It's $160, but they're good articles. Like I'd say 90% of them come back with no revisions needed, or just very, very minor revisions needed. So, and you could probably contact her and find out if they should probably give you a custom quote on 3,000 word article if you needed it.
Yeah, they've been around forever.
Yep.
I mean, I've been using them since I got into SEO, so they've been around for a very, very long time.
Good service. It's a good service.
Yep. And its worst part is it's owned by a guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of course. He knew that it would sell more if he portrayed himself as a female, right?
Yep.
That's brilliant. Okay, Anthony's up. We're going to answer this question, and then we got to wrap it up, guys. Anthony says, hi, this question is about SerpSpace. First, single syndication networks ask for logo and company info. Is this the brand or the company? Well, it would be the brand, right? But typically those are one and the same. They're usually congruent. The brand and the company is usually the same. Now, that's not always the case, but likely it is. But I would go with whatever the public facing brand is for the website as your, which is going to be your point of origin for content. I would brand your network for that. Okay. I'm looking to outsource to SerpSpace a brand authority product I am building, so my networks will be for brands. Second, to help to get the information together for my clients, I would like to know all the fields that you require when ordering a single syndication network. Do you or can you provide PDFs that show the complete flow chart for the single syndication network product and other products? It's a really good idea.
Well, that, and also I'm just going to say, because we don't have that, so that's something we could do. But Bradley, can you go, since you got your screen up, can you go to SerpSpace? Because also I want to show off the sexy redesign that Roman just finished on. But also that, I forgot who was asking the question, sorry, Anthony. You can go there, and if you've already got your account, if you're logged in, you can go through there and see all the steps that you need to do. Or if you're not sure before you place your order, feel free to contact support on the site via the little pop-up, and they will totally walk you through it. And we're happy to show you this stuff now, and I'll let Bradley, now that he's got it up, go through there.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead, Roman.
No, I was going to say, I was absolutely agreeing with that. It's, contact any of our support guys. I think for the most part, they're on about 18 hours a day. So, they can answer any questions you guys have.
Yeah,
in regards to specific fields and things like that.
And what I would recommend, I agree that like having a PDF on that first page that like you can click a link and it opens in a new tab, or you can download it and look at the flow, like the ordering process flow chart. Essentially, that is a really good idea. So we can implement that.
Well, I'm going to give a little secret out too. You don't actually, unless Roman, you updated this, you don't actually have to upload an image. So you could put something in and then click continue and see what the other fields are.
That's what I was just getting ready to say, is you can just walk through this and just, put demo text in for each one of these until we get the PDF done or the flow chart done. You can just go through and just put demo text in each one of these fields and just keep clicking continue. You don't have to make the purchase at the end. You just click through and say, okay, this is what I need. Make a note of it. But we will resolve that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the next major pieces that I'm going to be trying to work on is moving the order forms into the back end as opposed on the front end. And that's going to make it easy for people to order this, because they can save their orders in the back end, so they can come back to it later if they're missing some key pieces of information, have it all displayed in one area. It'll be a lot easier to order that way. So that's the token system that I'm going to be trying to move towards in the next few months.
Awesome. Anthony says he likes the new site, so thumbs up, Roman.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, and the support over there is really good, Anthony. Just make sure, we'll obviously help you if you contact Semantic Mastery, but if you are looking for SerpSpace stuff, just head to the site, use that little pop-up box if you have any questions, and ping them, and they'll get you straightened up.
Yeah. And Wayne, thank you for that awesome comment, man. I'm really proud of this prospecting funnel that I put together, because it's like, that's why I started building that new agency, the agency, guys, is because I kind of wanted a second chance. I built my agency from scratch the first time, not really knowing what the hell I was doing. And now, many years later, I'm starting over again with a new agency, because I wanted to build it right this time and make it scalable and something that can be duplicated. And that's part of the reason why I'm really stoked about this prospecting funnel, because, man, if I would have known then what I know now, well, I probably wouldn't be here as part of Semantic Mastery, because I'd be running some great big ass agency. You know what I mean? But it's really, really powerful. And obviously the mastermind members, I want to share it with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys in the mastermind are doing client work, and this should help to really fill that pipeline full of leads, so that you don't go through what who was it that asked about the position of strength? The proposal. Somebody was talking about Scott Lambert, to go through this problem that Scott was having with, being so, placing all of your attention and energy on one proposal. Like we mentioned, if you got multiple proposals to give out during 1 week, then no one of them are so important that you stress out over it. And that's really what having a pipeline full of valid leads will provide for you. So
real quick, you guys, I know we're about to push over, but Bradley, can you cover the ClickStar marketing? I just realized, because we were talking about ROAS stacks going up in price shortly, and he was asking, I assume she was asking about Drive stacks. So if we can touch on that real quick.
Hey guys, I'm interested in purchasing some drive stacks for some clients. Can I order the Google site and Twitter SEO at a later date, or do they need to be set up at the same time? That's a good question. Roman?
Yeah, so the Twitter piece of it can be ordered after the fact. So I would get the Google site though at the same time.
Yeah. Absolutely, get the Google site, because that's part of, in my opinion, that's the linchpin of the drive stack now. Like I mean, you can, if you've got your own site builder and stuff like that, that's one thing. But the beautiful thing about the Google sites is that, it's basically automated. All your drive files get added to the Google site automatically, and it saves you a ton of work and time, and it's very, very effective. So
yeah, the Twitter SEO one is, I just adjusted some of the syndication network stuff, but basically we can leave a note just in there, and I'm gonna have another checkbox basically to select for a Twitter syndication point.
Okay.
But it was in the old design, but I had to scrap it briefly, so it'll be back up soon.
Nice.
He says also, how much more effective is the stack with the Google site? Will I be provided? Well, we just answered that. Will I be provided with the spreadsheet with each of the stacks data? Yes, you get a spreadsheet with all the links. That's sent out with the delivery of the stack. Okay. All right, we got to wrap it up, guys. We're already over. Sorry about that. Any question that didn't get answered, guys, either save it for next week or post in the Facebook group, and somebody will get to it. Okay. Thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it. And come join the mastermind if you haven't. Tomorrow's going to be a really good day. And next week on Monday, we start the mindset series. So, all right. Thanks everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See
Bye.
ya.